Yo, what's up, everybody? Fat Man Live again tonight. I don't know. We're on episode 13, 15, 20 for the year. I'm not really sure. Listen, before we get started, only a couple of weeks left in the Fat Man Nation Operation Deeds Not Words campaign. If you haven't bought a shirt, go out and buy a shirt. All right. All the proceeds from these shirts go to Camp Freedom in Pennsylvania. They take disabled vets out of a clinical environment. They get them back out into nature. They take them hunting. They take them fishing. They take them camping. I believe they have like 6,000 acres down in Pennsylvania of all wooded area. They do events there like archery, fishing, biking, rock climbing, pretty much every day of the week there. And their sole mission is to help disabled vets and first responders. They're really a great organization. Even if you don't like me personally, that's okay. I don't care. Go buy a shirt. You're not supporting me. You're supporting disabled vets. So let's just make it happen. We're really close to a goal that we tried to hit that has been extended over the course of the campaign. So we'd like to get as many shirts sold. The actual campaign ends on July 4th. So after July 4th, these shirts will not be available anymore. So do me a favor, head on over to fatmannation.com, click on the Support Disabled Vets tab, and pick up a shirt, all right? You guys are helping the vets out. All right, real quick, I got some stuff I want to talk about real quick, but I want to pay the bills. Right off the bat, Brian Bode, veteran, Patreon member, supporter. If you're in the Las Vegas area, the West Coast area, hell, even if you're in Schaumburg, he's going to be at the next Schaumburg show. Go check out Brian Bode if you want a quality ball python. Brian is one of the best guys in the hobby. I will be at Brian's table at October Tinley this year. So we're going to be hanging out there. Listen, Conduit Constrictors, if you need an investment quality ball python, this is the guy to go to. All right. This guy put over $1 million into the hobby, and I was talking with somebody last night that's basically what keeps the ball python hobby alive is these big guys that come in every 5 years or whatever. They're basically supporting the money for everybody else. And Steve and his family are great guys. They're putting out amazing stuff. He's also a supporter of the Deeds Not Words campaign, and I will be hanging out with Steve at Gettysburg in July, on July 19th, I believe. So check us out at Gettysburg. We're going to be having fun. Shane Kelly, Small Town Xotics. Listen, you need a quality ball python. You need a quality leopard gecko. You need a quality hognose. Shane Kelly is my ride or die guy. He's the guy to go to if you're anywhere in and around Tennessee. Shane is the man. Everybody knows that Shane's the man. Speaking of that, next week he's having his little Reptiles on the River thing for his Patreon. If you're in Tennessee, hop on Shane's Patreon because they're doing I don't know. I'm calling it the Gay Redneck Tubing event, and I'm bummed out that I can't go down there. But I'm going to be in Long Island next week, so I got to miss it. Excuse me. All right. Will Sanford. Everybody knows Will Sanford. 15 minutes of lane contestant this year down in Texas, working with puzzle, working with paint. He's doing all the expensive genes. You need a quality ball python, go follow Visionary Exotics over on the old Instagram. Great family snakes, Laurie and Roger. Great people. We'll love them to death. Axanthic Pieds, Axanthic Desert Ghosts. They're constantly updating their morph market. Go to them and buy an investment quality ball python. Let's see. Who do we got next? Large Marge. My boy Paul Santoriello. We're going to Gettysburg next month. We're going to Canada in September. Paul is one of my ride or die guys, and I appreciate everything he does. He's a supporter on Patreon. He's a supporter for the Deeds Not Words campaign. If you need a good quality ball python, he's the winner of the 15 minutes of lane contest from 2023. The only winner who swept the contest, just saying. So go buy go buy a ball python from Paul. All right. Let's see. We got one space open for rent. If you want to advertise on the Fat Man Nation on the Sunday show, drop me a DM. I'll cut you a good deal. All right. All right. So everybody just kind of you got to deal with this being like 2024 or 23, Chris, because I don't have Shauna here tonight to run all the comments. So if you feel like it, drop a super chat so I could finally start paying Shauna. Or if you feel like it, drop a super chat and, just basically help support the channel and help us get to all these places that we're going to in the next couple of months. You want exclusive content, join the Patreon. We got a ton of extra video there. We got series like the Storyteller series where we take the people who have been in the hobby for 30 and 40 and 50 years and they tell us stories about pivotal moments that happened within the hobby. We got stories like Shitting On, where I just crap all over certain ball python genes that I don't like. We do a lot of fun stuff there. So join the Patreon at patreon.com/thefatmannation. Now, listen. Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess I got to validate everybody in the room, right? Yeah, all right. Let's do it real quick, okay? Fucking Dickie Foster, thank you for popping by, although this comment has been up for like 2 days. So I don't even know if Dickie Foster is here, okay? But thanks for coming by and thanks for trying, right? My boy Mike Duval, who was at the Zoom call on the Patreon last night, and I believe Mike was like the head of the Zoom call. So everybody loves Mike. Go check him out at Morph Avenue. HJS Serpents, they've been our ride or dies with the Deeds Not Words campaign. Traveling for hours at a time to help us out, selling shirts at shows, getting donations at shows. Listen, I appreciate you guys more than you know. You guys were on the Zoom call last night. It was awesome, too. Chris Ferenzi, 319 Reptiles. Chris is just, what can you not say about Chris? I mean, this is a guy that has still has a phone booth in his town, like a public phone booth. It's freaking weird, man. That's all I'm saying. Jay, also my ride or die for the Deeds Not Words thing. Jay has been an incredible partner with the Deeds Not Words campaign, coming to every show that we've been doing and doing so much behind the scenes. He set everything up with Camp Freedom. And Jay got it going on. I love Jay. He's also a Patreon member. He was on the Zoom call last night. He's donated to the Deeds Not Words campaign. Jay is really one of the top guys in the hobby. That's all I'm saying. Let's see who else we got here. Blake Python Prince. What's up, brother? How are you doing? He's also a Patreon member, supporter of the Deeds Not Words campaign. He was hanging with us at the Albany show. Brian Bode. Listen, I already blew you earlier in the show. Okay, I'm not going to do it again right now. But listen, you sent me some pictures today of you and your incredibly hot girlfriend, and they were in Deeds Not Words shirts. Both of them have been supporting everything since the beginning. Told Brian, like, that's deep pocket ball python money that he got there. Kevin, also one of the people that have been killing it with us, putting on a bunch of miles under our belts for the Deeds Not Words campaign. I mean, going down with me to Georgia. All right. I mean, Kevin's really I've been to two countries with Kevin already. So pretty happy about all that. Thank you, Kevin, for everything. Oh, look, Dickie Forster is here. All right, cool. That's just a cool name, brother. Right. All right. So real quick, I don't want to keep Ray waiting too long, but this weekend, not now, but next weekend, the 28th? We're going to be at the Nassau Reptile Expo. It's one of the last live shows we're doing to raise money for the vets. I don't know if anybody's ever been at a Nassau show, but it's a killer show. I mean, there were thousands and thousands of people last time. The line was around the block at 4:00 in the afternoon. So it's one of the best shows in the area. It's at the Cradle of Aviation Museum. So basically, you have all these snake breeders setting up under like warplanes and space shuttles, and it's just a huge place. It's a great place. I've been to a ton of other conventions there. If you guys happen to live on Long Island or in Long Island, I don't even know how you say it. If you live on Long Island, stop by the show. That's going to be next Saturday. We have a bunch of people coming down and coming up. We're going to have Shauna here. We're going to have Jay from Green Line. Kevin and Paul are going to be there. Gerald and Crystal are coming down from Canada for this show. HJS is coming up for this show. Sammy Vargas is going to be there again, who is basically the rock star of this campaign. And, come hang out, take a picture with us. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. Oh, you know who's also going down? Audacious Balls is coming down from New Hampshire. I mean, there's a bunch of people coming in from miles away to do this show with us and help us raise money for the vets. So again, buy a shirt. Go to thefatmannation.com, click on support disabled vets. All right. Did I do everything? See, I don't know. This is what happens when somebody producing the show is not. Oh shit, there's a bunch of people that I don't even think I got to. Well, everybody that's coming, I love you. All right. Sammy Vargas is here. I just want to say, Sammy, thank you again. Can't wait to see you Sunday. Well, look at this Lorga, all the way from Russia. All right. I don't even know if he's allowed to be on the internet right now. All right. So we're going to bring on Rae Delsey of Rae's Reptiles. She's Canadian again. And listen, it shows that I'm not prejudiced against Canada people. All right. What's up there, Rae Delsey?
Hey, nothing much. Just chilling out, hanging out. It's really hot right now. We have a heat warning. I don't know it in Fahrenheit, but it's like 35 degrees Celsius out here. It's very, very hot.
Well, that's like, let's see. That's like 90 degrees, right? 35,
somewhere up there.
95, yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it was 95 here today too. And
okay.
as a fat dude, you learn to hate the heat real quick. So I totally get it. I've had the air conditioner on at 60 all day. I don't even think I've opened the door and went outside all day. So I found you on Instagram. That's why I came across.
Yes.
First of all, plug your Instagram page and tell me what you're doing.
Okay.
On the Instagram, like what's your end game for your Instagram page?
Okay. So for my account, I just want to pretty much teach people the basics of owning reptiles, and I just love sharing my education and everything that I know about reptiles to people, because people just love learning cool facts about anything in the world. And as well as I am going to start to also kind of steer some of my content on native species, because everybody knows what a koala bear is. Everybody knows what a tiger is, but nobody really knows what's actually living in their backyards. So I like to educate that as well. And then the end goal for me is honestly just enjoy my life teaching people about animals and getting to know everybody in the hobby, networking. I want to eventually like travel and go herping in different places, and kind of I want to be able to travel to different expos and stuff like that, because I've only been to one expo in Canada, and that's the only one I've ever been to. But yeah, I just want to teach everybody to know who I am and have the same passion that I do for reptiles and animals.
The one show you've been to, was that the CRBE?
Yes, it's the one that Grant owns. So
the one by the airport in Mississauga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They had one literally today, and I'm really sad that I missed it.
They had one today. They're also having one in September on September 8th or 9th. I don't know.
I think that's their big. That's their national big.
That's the national show. Yeah. We're going up there. We're going to do lives. We're going to do all-day events. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to go up. Yeah,
I'm going to make sure that I will be there, and then we can meet up for sure.
Yeah, definitely come down. Plus, it's going to be a fun time. And I think there's 12 or 15 of us going up total. So it's a good show. Now, on your Instagram account, I mean, you're not a dummy, right? Like you know you're going into an area that is rife with show me girls that use reptiles as props for all their videos, and they have a gazillion followers, and they're getting brand deals.
Yeah,
they're promoting their
OnlyFans. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm aware of a few of those girls, and so I really look into the logistics of like how creators make their content, who's being successful, what's successful, all these different things, what goes viral, all these things. And I've been looking at different girls that do it and stuff like that. And I've noticed the ones that have over 10 million views on each one, I go clicking the link, and then there's that option. Yeah. So I'm trying to see how I can get up there without doing all of that other sexual stuff, because I do not want to be promoting that, because it's just, I don't know. I want to be putting reptiles. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to teach people. I want people to love them, because I think reptiles are one of the most misunderstood animals ever. And everybody's scared of them. Everybody sees a tarantula, they're freaking out. Oh my gosh, it's so scary. And little do they know that thing is super delicate and terrified of you. And they don't want to hurt us. If a snake's typically going to be hurting us, or an animal's going to hurt us, it's probably in self-defense, because they're scared of us. And people don't understand that. And I want people to understand stuff like that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it absolutely makes sense. I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate here. Just because from what I've seen, I've been doing this for 30 years, and Instagram is new. Like we didn't have girls doing this on MySpace. Back, I mean, we had girls, being flirty or doing whatever, but they didn't have an OnlyFans to promote or whatever. Mm-hmm. And generally, the education reptile people tend to fall off after a couple of months of doing it, because they feel like, hey, I'm doing all this work to put these reels together, to edit these reels, I'm taking 5 days out of the month just to shoot content. Mm-hmm. Then I have to edit it. Then I have to promote it at the right time. And once they don't see an immediate payoff, they tend to fall off. Okay.
I'm not doing it for the money at all.
Okay.
No. Right. Of course, it's a bonus. It's nice getting brand deals as well. Awesome. But like, I'm not really in it for the money. Of course, I do actually want to open up my own facility, to open up to the public to come in and see everything and do little shows and stuff like that. So yes, whatever I make off of social media would be going towards that, but it's not like that is my main goal. I still have my full-time job, but this, I'm not quitting this. You will see me in 30 years doing more than this. Like, I don't care if my views are going down. I'm going to make a way to get it to go back up, because this is literally what I love.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking education, adoption places. Mm-hmm. Every time I have an interest in one of them, they're out of business the following month. And I actually had 3 women on who ran reptile adoption places. Mm-hmm. We were going to have a show. One was in England, one was in North Carolina, and one was in California. And we all picked a date, and we're going to come on, have a roundtable, talk about the importance of education and the importance of having people adopt reptiles that nobody wants anymore, because basically reptiles are looked at as a disposable pet, right? Like, once it gets too big or too boring, they're going to bring it to a rescue place and they're going to think it's going to be fine. But turns out it's not going to be fine, because we had agreed on doing that show in like 2 weeks. And by the time the date came, all 3 of them shut down their facilities and didn't even, do it. So there's zero money in it unless you're basically trying to get free animals to flip at a reptile show. I know that's how they do it here. No, I think Canada, being to the CRBE in the past before, they have a little bit stricter standards on who they allow at their table, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So did you eventually see yourself branching out to doing these shows and doing these, doing something educational at the show? Because I know Grant has a whole section for education at the show.
I would love to do that. That would be amazing. But as of right now in my career, it's not ideal for me right now because I want to just have more experience. Like, yes, I've been working with reptiles since I was 18. I'm only 25 now, so it's not that many years of experience. So I want to really, because all these people, like not all of them, a lot of the people are just coming. They've never seen reptiles before and they just want to go see something. But a majority of the people there know their stuff and they know what they're talking about. So I don't want to go up there and just tell them a bunch of stuff they already know. So I want to like find a way to make it interesting to the people that are even extremely experienced and stuff like that. So I got to find that niche of in between for the newbies and the experienced, but I'm going to get there eventually. But right now, social media is just my main priority. And then I'm going to work my way up to eventually doing more interactive stuff with people and all that kind of stuff. If that makes
Beautiful.
Sense. Yeah.
Paul, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate it. Deeds Not Words. Again, go to fatmannation.com. Click on the support disabled vets tab. Thanks again, Paul, and I'll give you a ring tomorrow.
Thank you.
So now, being that, like, what are you keeping right now?
Okay. Since we have, so I live in Ontario, Canada, and we have thousands and thousands of bylaws, which I agree with because we can get onto that topic in a second. But right now I have I'm trying to think. I have 3 ball pythons, 2, guys, you're gonna think this is so basic, but 2 normals, 1 pinstripe, and then I do have an albino.
Thank you, Brian.
I have an albino. No, you're good. I have an albino hognose snake, 5 crested geckos. If you guys want to try to identify what morphs they are, I don't know. They're just crested geckos for me personally. And then I do have 6 tarantulas. I can name all of those if you want.
Well, first of all, I'm surprised they let you keep tarantulas up there. Second of all, I've seen some pictures of you with like some retics, some bigger snakes. Like, where do you have access to them? And are you allowed to do the bigger animals up in Canada?
Okay, so each city has its own bylaws. So in where the reptile expos are, pretty much there's not many bylaws. You can have like snakes over 6 feet and stuff like that. But then when you go out to like, you're not gonna know what this is, but out to like London area, like you can't even bring a ball python. Like the max is like 4 feet or something like that. Like it's ridiculous. Unfortunately, a lot of people own illegally here. That's just everywhere personally. So that's also how I get to interact with these animals because some people do own illegally. I'm not saying who these people are, but yeah. So but
when you own illegally in Canada, what happens to you if you get caught? Like here in New York, if you're caught with a venomous snake, let's say, it's 5 years mandatory. So they throw you in jail just for having a venomous snake if they find out you do. So what are some of the repercussions for illegally owning animals in Canada?
Here, somebody might be able to help me on this. I don't know. I'm looking at the chat too, but I'm pretty sure it's not jail time. I'm pretty sure they just seize the animal and you get like fined a lot of money. That's what my experience has been told. I don't know anybody that has. I just have heard of it, but all I know is just like a hefty fine. But I don't know of anybody like going to jail for it. I could be wrong. Don't put me on.
Well, I would imagine it's like you said, certain cities have different ordinances, right? So like I could drive 100 miles south to Pennsylvania and I could pick up a timber rattlesnake and I could sell one to a 10-year-old. Okay. Whereas just, so I'm not saying that there's not people in New York that don't own it. I'm just saying that I don't know any that are, because they're so worried about the jail time if they're caught with it, you know.
Oh, I would be too if that was the case here. Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
literally every city has different bylaws. Like, it's so insane. Like, in Ontario, you can own rear fanged venomous, but you can't own like like any other venomous animal.
Right. Okay.
I don't know, like it's so weird, especially no native species, that is for sure. But we only have.
You guys even have native species up there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have 2 venomous snakes that live here in Ontario. We have the Massasauga rattlesnake, and then we have the hognose snake. So probably not going to die from either of those, but
right. I was going to say, so
no lethal animals here. No.
Is that the same place that the CRB is in, Mississauga?
No. So the Mississauga. So I'm talking like these 2, the venomous snakes. Most of the snakes, like, they're way up north, like in the like wilderness up north. Like, you wouldn't know, but the Muskokas and stuff like that, like that's where they are. They're not down here where the city is and stuff like that.
Right. They're more
like
in like
here there's garter snakes. That's like, and maybe you might find a rat snake or something like that. But I have lived here my whole life. I've only ever seen garter snakes ever.
They're up where Bigfoot lives. Up there, right?
Yeah, exactly. They live with Bigfoot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we only here in Canada have 1 lizard species.
Right. That I know.
The 5-line skink, and then we have 17 snake species and 8 turtle species. So we like literally don't have any reptiles up here.
Yeah. It's like I can't imagine going up to Niagara and being like, hey, we're going herping while we're here. And that's I don't really see.
You're gonna find more crackheads out here than reptiles.
See, but that's what's funny is I didn't see a lot of crackheads when we were up in Toronto. I did see a lot of crackheads in like Buffalo, right, and the American side of the falls.
Police in Canada, in Ontario, will clean out Toronto to make it look better. They will literally pick up homeless people and just drive them wherever and then drop them off.
Oh,
like this is a thing that's been happening recently in the past few years. Like they're ending up in the weirdest places, and you're like, how did this person even get here? And this is the theory or myth you want to call it. We don't know if it's actually happening, but that's what the word has been spread, that's what's happening, and that's why they're not really in Toronto as much.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. It's pretty fun. That's pretty smart, actually. America could take a hint, all right? Take all our crackheads, bring them up to Canada.
We don't want them. I used to work at a reptile store that was like on the street of all the crackheads, and I've had my fair share of them, and they're not. Some of them are great, but some of them are not great. Like one time, I was just sitting in my store. The guy comes in, clearly could tell he was homeless and on drugs. And he came in, he looked like he was like tweaking. Like he wasn't high, but he was like waiting for a high. And he asked me if we were selling cane toads so that he could lick it and get high from the DMT that's secreted off.
Okay. Ah. Did he come in looking like crackhead Dave Chappelle, like scratching his arm and everything?
Yeah. And I told him to get the heck out of my store. I'm not like, don't even talk to me. Just get out. Like, I don't know why you even think I would consider giving you. We don't have cane toads either, but like, what are you doing? Just get out. Like, they're just yeah.
It's so funny because when we were up in Canada, one of the things that I remarked about, I was like, man, there's no homeless people here, or there's no. Yeah, I mean, Toronto really got it down pat. Like they really kick ass at their whole, social engineering thing. But yeah, no, if it turns out they just bring all the crackheads to the woods, yeah, then I guess that's cool
they're
too.
Yeah, where I live, there's a lot in the downtown area. I don't live in the downtown area.
I was going to say, are you more rural where you live now, or are you more city?
I'm suburbs.
Okay.
So I'm 30 minutes away from absolute forest, nothing, and then I'm 20 minutes away from downtown city. So I'm like right dead center in the middle. So
right, okay.
It's nice because I get to go 30-minute drive and then I can go herping, which I never find anything. I have the worst luck of herping. Like,
let me tell you something. Herping, you don't want to go herping. Herping is the worst, okay? Because look, everybody knows how I feel about this, all right? So I'm going to repeat myself for the people in the room. But everybody knows, like, imagine you're let's just say a little dumb garter snake, right? And you have your perfect spot that you found where like a little baby mouse will come by, or a fish will just flop on by, or some, right? And you're waiting there for 2 days for that to happen. And then some big giant gorilla just scoops you up, screws up your hiding spot just so they can take a picture for Instagram with their dumb face smiling, right? Yep. So now you put that snake back. He has to go another 2 or 3 days without any dinner because you couldn't keep your hands off it and do it. I'm very anti-herping. I'm like, leave the animal alone. Notice nobody does that with a tiger, all right, or a lion, right? They only do it with reptiles that can't hurt them, or that they have a 5-foot stick that they could pick the thing up with. Yeah, nobody's walking up to an animal, like a tiger, and smacking it on the ass with a 5-foot thing just to get a picture of it for Instagram. So, I'm very anti-herping.
I totally agree with you. There's no disagreeing on that. I totally agree. I always tell people, like, if you see something on the ground, like it's like an animal or something, I'm just leave it. Just leave it. We can coexist. We don't need to be interfering with their life because, like, you never know. Like, something, I don't know, we have hand sanitizer all over our hands. We grab it, then we get it sick. Or we have hand sanitizer all over our hands, and now the animal's distracted by the smell, and then they stop eating, or whatever the case is. Like, I cannot stand. And here in Ontario, I'm not sure if the bill has been passed yet, but there's a bill right now to take away our green belt. And I'm not happy with that right now. And I think a lot of people,
what is that?
Pretty much like giving away the protection of our conservation.
Okay.
So there will be no more conservation anymore, and you can legally build wherever you want.
You know what though? If you guys became the 51st state, you could keep all your forests, right?
Oh my God! Okay, I'm not getting into politics here.
That's all I'm saying. Look, Mike said, "Damn, when he goes herping, he can't find shit either." In his defense, though, Mike is blind. Okay. So yeah, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, if he's blind, how did he type that, right? Well, first of all, that probably took him about 3 hours to type. I think he has some kind of Braille keyboard. Okay. But I would imagine that Mike's not spotting the pygmy rattlesnake from fucking 100 yards away. So, Mike, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you'll never get the joy of ruining an animal's day by taking a picture of it for Instagram. Now, I'm not saying that you can't take a picture of the animal, but just leave it alone. You know, leave it alone. So.
Yeah, and then there's the people that go to the extent of herping, and they purposely place out sheets of metal for the animals to go under, and then they go back every whatever day.
Right. Yeah. No, I've seen it.
That's too much for me. Other people, if you want to do it, go for it. I'm not hating on you, but I just personally don't want to be interfering with nature like that. Like, we coexist for a reason. We're not supposed to be. Yeah. Don't screw with native species. Just go to the domesticated ones. They're literally domesticated for a reason, for human care and human interaction. We do not need to be. Yes, if you see them in the wild, it's beautiful, nice. Take a quick snap, but we don't need to be like grabbing them and purposely trying to scare them to bite us for content.
Yeah. Well, that's what Paul said. Those people in Yellowstone trying to get pics with the bears. absolutely annoying.
Oh, and the bison, the people are idiots to going by the bison, bringing their children. Have you
Oh
seen
yeah,
this video?
yeah.
It's insane.
It's unbelievable. People are
Ignorant.
so stupid when it comes to animals.
That's why I want to teach people to not be like that. But I can't change everyone.
But you do realize that 90% of the general public unteachable, right? Like you do realize that.
Yeah.
But like if you could get 1 in every 100 to maybe pay attention to something you say, I would think that you're doing good. That's a pretty good ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So but that's why it's all a numbers game. Okay. Look, you look like the girl that sings "Shut the F Up" jingle from The Voice. I don't know what that means, Blake, but okay.
From The Voice. I like the show The Voice, but I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad that I look like her, I guess. I don't know.
So now, is there ever an intent to breed anything? Because, I mean, you have to realize that that's, if anything, and you breed something, that's at least a fallback where a little bit of money will come your way. You
okay,
know?
So I bought this guy right here. It's my crested gecko, one of my males. I bought him specifically to breed with my female that I had. And at the time, I only had her. And I wanted him so I could breed, because incubating crested gecko eggs is, you literally do nothing. You just put it in room temperature and typically it's going to hatch, usually. They're one of the easier ones to breed, I find, with incubation stuff. And I put him in. I know that males are aggressive when breeding. I'm aware of that. But my female is my child. And seeing her scream and trying to get away from him, I felt horrible. So I was like, I'm not going to breed them. I'm just going to let them coexist. And it's fine. And it is what it is. Plus, I don't want the consciousness of me knowing that I gave somebody an animal and potentially they could be neglected. Like, I do not want that on my conscience.
Well, I mean, and that's what breeding is, right? I mean,
yeah.
And the crested gecko people are worse than the ball python people now, because the crested gecko people have come in knowing how easy it is to breed, just like the ball python people. If you put 2 ball pythons together in a tub, they're gonna have babies. Like you're not doing anything special, to do anything. I did know that they were a little bit violent.
They are.
I know that skinks are violent. I know that males will go in there and rip the arms off the female, and and basically just do that to mate with them. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, maybe she didn't listen, But at the same time, I'm like, oh well. At the same time, you don't want to put your animal through that, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. So if I were, I don't think I ever will. Maybe we'll see one day. But if I were, like, I would prefer to have, like, not that, like, yes, they're my pet, but like mentally they're not my pet, if that makes sense. Like, they're just a part of my work, and like, but then that's like itemizing them, and I don't want to do that. I don't know. I just don't think the breeding world's for me. There's so many people out here that's breeding. We don't need another one.
What's your day gig?
My day gig. So right now I'm working at, shout out to Hands On Xotics in Etobicoke, Toronto. I'm working there right now. I actually just started. I pretty much do education. I go to birthday parties. I go to retirement homes. I go to large events. Actually, my boss, Seth, he does the educational shows at Grant's Expos.
Cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do, and it's really, really fun. I get to work with lots of different types of birds, which is cool, and I've never really got hands-on experience with birds before, and I've fallen in love with a macaw named Fallon. He's 43. He's my new best friend.
Birds are so loud.
Yeah, I just learned that, like, macaws are almost on the same level as whales for decimals, like, for sound.
I could
And
see
their
that.
bite can bite, at least macaws specifically, they can slice through a coconut easily. So you do not
Yeah,
want
well,
to get bit
they
by
could take
one.
a finger off. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Mm,
But I get to work with a hornbill, which is really cool. I would never have thought in my life that I've ever worked with a hornbill. But
which
before this, I was working. Have you? I think I asked you this. African lion safari. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a whole big zoo where there's a zoo part, and then there's also like the game reserve where the animals are out roaming, and you get to drive your car through and stuff like that. Don't open your windows by the lions, because I can't tell you how many people I've screamed at that have put their children out of the windows right beside
Yeah,
lions.
no, I could see idiots doing that, and then blaming the lion when the lion eats the kid. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. But and then before that, I was working at Little Raes Nature Center. Absolute shout out to them. They are the best zoo that I've ever been at, and I love the environment. Everything else do love too. I still love my job right now, but Little Raes holds a little thing in my heart because I got to work with my favorite species, which is the Cuvier's dwarf caimans, which are my children.
Well, you can't keep
No,
caimans in Canada, right? Yeah, I mean that's.
I know a few people that do, but
Yeah. No, I've seen some pictures of some people that do, but
yeah, they're
but
very
that's one of the rules that I kind of agree with.
yeah.
You know, I don't see a reason why you can't own a retic. I don't see a reason why you can't own a berm. I do understand why you can't keep a caiman or an alligator or something like that. So
Yeah.
I do get that.
I know a lot of people here in Canada that have been bitten pretty bad from
That's that,
crocodiles, alligators, the caimans. I watched one of my coworkers literally get bit by just a baby, and it was still did pretty good damage.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I've definitely seen that happen a lot too. What's your favorite and least favorite part of this hobby that you decided to join into? Because there's only one acceptable answer for both questions. So go ahead.
Now you're scaring me. My favorite part is networking with people. I love meeting new people, and I love meeting people that have the same passion as me. That I just like me and you. We just met. We can talk for a whole hour without even really knowing each other because we love the same things, and we can banter on our opinions, because that's why I also love the reptile world, because there's so many different opinions, and it's just very interesting to hear everybody's different opinions. But I'm assuming that's not the answer that you were expecting.
No. Basically, it was. You could say your favorite part of the people, right?
Yes,
Okay.
are the people.
What's your least favorite part?
My least favorite.
I'll give you a hint. It's the people. Okay.
Yeah,
All right?
I was literally about to say it's the people as well, because they can be very ignorant and believe their own things, and maybe it's not accurate, and they will keep doing that, and they don't give a shit or whatever. They just do what they want to do, and they're actually hurting the animals or neglecting or whatever it is. And
Well, it's not only that. It's a lot of whole like they begin to drink their own Kool-Aid, you know, and start believing the bullshit. God forbid you do something right for a year or two. You know, you're considered an expert by like I've never been part of a hobby where people that have been doing this for 3 or 4 years are considered an expert in it from new dumber people that just came in the hobby 2 years ago or whatever. When I first started this podcast, it was 9 years ago, almost 10 now, and there was maybe 3 reptile podcasts like on Earth, right? And I was like, man, there is no way that I'm going to even go on a podcast if I haven't been doing something for 20 years and I don't know all the answers. Now people buy a ball python at 10:30 in the morning, and by 12:30 they have a YouTube video, and by 3 o'clock they have their own podcast.
Yeah,
right?
And people are asking them questions, and they
and they'll give the wrong answers. And so now these new dummies have the wrong answers that they're basing their keeping of the animals off of. All right.
Yes.
What would be a way to combat that?
Okay. Like, what do you mean?
Because what I'm saying is that maybe, all right, I understand you're not a show me girl. Okay, I get that. But what I'm saying is that maybe if certain women who have a brain in their head draw the people in on their looks, but then give actual great information, I think that you will make more of an impact that way. As like, for instance, Girly Girl Snakes does this. C3 Snakes does this. I mean, they're gorgeous people, right? Yeah. So you know that the majority of their views are not like, I wonder what snake Carrie's gonna, handle today or whatever, right? You know, the majority of their views are reptile pervs that just basically do, But let's say you're a reptile perv and you're tuning in to a channel that actually teaches you something. Maybe you might walk away with a little bit of knowledge from it, So would that be something? This sounds like I'm fucking I really want to see your OnlyFans. No, I don't. But like, would that be something you would be more likely to do? What, like let's say you're stuck at 1,000 views on a channel, on your channel, but you say, hey, if I, put on some makeup, did my hair, looked a little sexy, I'd get 40,000 views. I'd hit more people, but they necessarily won't be the people that you want to hit. But if there's even a 5% chance of you impacting 5 people instead of one person, is that worth it to you? Like, would it be worth it to you?
Like, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I think it is like a huge aspect in the reptile world and stuff like that. But I would like some videos of my videos. Yes, I would. I'll like kind of look prettier and have makeup on and kind of doll myself up beforehand, and like, because I'm aware I'm a pretty girl. A lot of I've been told that multiple times before. So like, I don't really care for the looks part. I think it's like an add-on to it instead of the looks part and the reptiles being an add-on. I'm more of the reptiles, and then me being a pretty girl, then that's the add-on, and it's probably going to keep people engaged and stuff like that. So not really. No, I don't really want to get into that because like, I don't know, it's just not me. I just want, like, honestly, I want a lot of my content to be reached to children, and that they don't care about that. Well, maybe some of them do, but that's not like, that is not what my goal is like, I want it to be family friendly. Like, I want to hit all audiences, all ages, and stuff like that. So if I do not swear, if I'm not trying to sexualize it, like, that is giving me the opportunity of having a broader like community like supporting me. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm not saying that can happen. Look at Emily from Snake Discovery, right?
Yes.
Like, Emily from Snake Discovery has 1 billion followers, and her followers are really, kids between 8 and 14, maybe, right?
Yeah, okay. I know everybody.
So that's not and that's where the money is too, right? Because they're going to bother their parents for a hognose snake if they see Emily, having a hognose snake.
Yeah.
What would be your opinion on good views for a video? Because I remember, and this is why I hate you young people. like fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. I know your family's watching. I'm not supposed to be cursing, right? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Right.
Shout out family.
But I remember, like, I got into this argument with this bearded dragon woman, and I had a friend of mine from Australia, where bearded dragons are from. Okay.
Yeah.
And she got mad at him because he keeps the bearded dragons in like tubs with very minimal stuff.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you look at this woman, and she puts a hammock in there, she puts a couch, she puts a fake TV in there, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, I don't really think they do that in the wild. Like, I don't see them, stringing up a hammock between two close together trees,
Yeah.
But she was stupid popular on Instagram, right? And she's like, well, this is why you guys get 400 views and I get 75,000 views per picture. What would be what's your goal to hit, and does the number of views equal the impact the impact of those views? Like, what are those views worth to you? Because you have to consider certain views as success, and then certain views, like let's say you put one video out that gets 100,000 views, then you put out another video that gets 30 views, right?
Yeah, I'm slowly learning that right now, because like I've only been on the social media aspect of everything for less than a month now. Less than a month.
Really?
So
you're like 24, right? Or 25. How are you on
25.
social media less than a month?
I was a social media influencer / model on my personal account, reaching like 10,000 followers and all that stuff. I did that for like 5 years, and then I just kind of got bored of it. So I stopped. So like I already know how social medias and stuff like that work. So like right now with my like algorithms and everything, like I'm only hitting like between 1,000 to like 4,000 views, and then I'll have a few that go viral. With like my one has 2.2 million, another one has like 65,000. So I'll get like random viral ones, but right now I'm just like hitting like between 1,000 to 4,000 views. So my end goal is followers and subscribers on YouTube. That's my next goal. My next goal is to start to get into YouTube. That's really a goal of mine, because like that's a very, very large. Yes, Instagram is large, but like YouTube is also like huge.
Yes,
and that's also how you're gonna
world. Yeah,
and that's also like, I feel like kids nowadays, like children, not teenagers, children are more on YouTube than on Instagram and all that stuff. So I want to also be able to hit those kind of views and stuff like that.
Yeah, the difference on YouTube is they have a certain minimum of subscribers that you have to have and watch time, but their main the main thing they look for is actual engagement. So it doesn't matter if you have 30,000 followers, if people are just averaging watching your 7-minute video for 1.5 minutes, YouTube punishes you and doesn't show your video to anybody, right?
Yeah.
So the rules between Instagram and YouTube are totally different.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is, at least on YouTube, there's 7 trillion videos on how to get followers and work on engagement and all that,
There, I'm still in school right now, so like I'm still in the progress of everything. Like I'm taking zoology right now, and I already have my vet assistant. So like I even might go the vet route eventually. We will see. Kind of just I love animals. I just love them.
Yeah,
not so much dogs and cats though. I'm not a huge dog and cat gal. I'm over.
Well, yeah, neither am I. But my day job is the creative director for an animal pharmaceutical company. So I deal with vet techs literally all day, every day. Okay.
Yeah.
And we do compounding for animals everywhere from dogs and cats that have cancer to lions and tigers and elephants at zoos, all across the country. So that's the one thing I could say about my job is it keeps me involved in animals, be it indirectly, because I'm not there making the medicine, so
I have a question.
Sure.
Have you ever kept tarantulas or anything?
No, I think tarantulas are gross. Yeah, you know what it is? I saw a tarantula on an episode of the Brady Bunch one year. That doesn't tell you how old I am, and I was just like, I was like, never. I'm not going to do that.
Oh my god! So cute though. I have a bunch of malts, but they're so cute. Look at it.
That's that's.
And it just like flips open like a little. I don't even know.
Yeah, like that's not just like a tad bit gross to you, like And then there's
Same thing as snake shed. Same thing as snake shed.
It's really not. All right, it's a little bit. Never saw a snake shed that looked like a physical piece of shit in your hand where you're just
okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, and it looks like a real tarantula.
But the tarantulas I just never got into it. Then I found out about the irradiated hairs and all that from old world tarantulas, and then there's certain tarantulas that'll just kind of mow along, and then there's other tarantulas that could run at 75 miles an hour like without any kind of ramp up. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, screw that. I'm not doing that. So I never got into the tarantulas.
That's why I love the animal world, because everybody loves different things. Like you're out here, you would handle a retic, but you won't handle a tarantula. Some people won't even touch a snake, but they'll touch millipedes, centipedes, like all these things. Like that's why I find it so interesting, like how everybody like has their own things. I have tarantulas, I have snakes, I work with crocodilians. I am deathly afraid of ladybugs. So,
yeah, yeah, tiny little head, big body.
Yeah. I don't know if they bite. Not all of them bite, but some of them bite. But
no, I totally get it. I just think that you're right that certain people could like certain things. The one thing in common is that 90% of them are all assholes, right? Like, because if you're doing any kind of animal for a living, I've heard from other people, because I've been into horses before. I got friends that are into the cats and dogs and all that. They're all psycho. They're all like the reptile people.
I say we're all weirdos.
Yeah. So it's a little bit weird, but then you think, is this the same problem that people in different groups have? Like, let's say the computer nerds. Like, do they have this same problem when they go to their little nerd convention? And, they're looking at graphics cards, and, NVIDIA's like, hey, screw this guy, and then, AMD is like, oh, screw that guy, and it's probably like that all around. It's probably not specific to the animal things, but I have noticed that in the animal things, it's a lot more vocal about it, especially with social media. But being that you don't have to worry about getting punched in the face, you can just say whatever dumb thing you want to somebody, and most of the time they live a continent away from you, so you're not worried. Okay. In the reptile world, though, everybody goes to these big national shows, so there's a chance you may run into that guy one day. So yeah.
Expos, I don't know. It's hard for since I worked at the reptile store, I absolutely try my best in that little store of 800 people that have come in and out of the 2 years of me working there. I just want to advocate so hard for proper care of animals and proper just knowledge of owning these animals and stuff like that. And that's why the expos are such a 50-50 for me, is because all these people, most of these breeders, not all of them, most of these breeders are literally just doing it for money, and they don't care, or really they know how to take care of it in a breeding facility, but they don't know how to take care of it once it's out of that, and like the proper stuff like that.
Well, the thing is that the problem is, at least here in America, breeders are really selling to other breeders. Okay, it's only been recently where the breeders started selling to pet people, because there was never any money in pet people before. You know, if you spend $20,000 on one snake, you want your return back, so you're going to sell to other breeders. All right, you're nobody's buying a ball python for $10,000 to keep it as a pet. Okay. But people will buy $300 to $500 to $1,000 ball pythons to keep as a pet. So the breeders here realize that, and now they sell to pet people too. But I didn't get that in Canada. When we went to the show, the vibe at the show was so different than in America. It's like in Canada, at least the reptile people just seemed like they were happy to show off their animals. Like they didn't even care if they were going to sell the animals. You know, whereas in America, you know, on a Sunday night, if somebody didn't even cover their table costs, they're cursing out the show. They hate the show. You know,
no, everyone here, it's the myth, the legend is true. Most of us are very nice people, and those people are still nice. Like I'm not saying they're not nice people or anything like that. They're gonna be friendly. They want to interact with people and stuff like that. But like, I just specifically remember going to a booth and be asked, and I just like I was trying to pretend like I didn't know anything about reptiles, because I wanted to see what they had to say, and I was like, oh, like if I want 2 male bearded dragons, can I put them in the same enclosure? And they said yes.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, if it'll make
they're
me
like, we do it, so you can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're literally gonna wake up one day and one of them's gonna be dead. Like, so that's my only thing.
But also the people that buy reptiles as impulse buys aren't really gonna. That reptile's not gonna get its best life regardless. Okay, you know, like we've had people buy snakes from us before that had no idea how to even set the snake up, even to keep it as a pet. You know, they're like, I'll stop by Petco on the way home and I'll pick up a tank. And you're like, no, you know.
You have to have it before you even get the animal.
Yeah. You have to have it before you go to the expo, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just the way it is. But yeah, Val said she seems like she actually is going to be pretty reputable in the future. Finally, someone not just here for the wrong reasons. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, Val. There's I would say there's a very large percentage in the reptile hobby that does do it for the wrong reasons. And that's one of the cool things I like about going up to Canada, is because you actually see people that are happy with what they're doing, you know, and not just in it for the money. So, it's a great place. So, yeah, definitely try and go by the show in September.
I would love to. I really want to. I'm like, also for my own content creation, like I really want to go really bad.
Well, that's the place to do it, right? Because they got the plants, they got the dogs, they got the cats, they got the fish. I
went last year and it was really, really fun. I was very close to taking a Sphinx cat home, but no cat's allowed in my house, so couldn't do that.
But all right, Rae. Well, thank you for taking an hour and bullshitting with me for a little bit.
You're good.
How do people get in touch with you?
So you can follow my Instagram. So I have the same tag for all of them: Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, Raes Reptiles. And then for Instagram, it's Raes Reptiles __. But yeah, that's pretty much it for right now.
That's what I was gonna.
And Facebook too. Every platform other than streaming platforms, you can find me. Just search up Raes Reptiles and you're gonna find me.
What's with the dumb little double underscore at the end of your name?
Raes Reptiles was taken, so I did the double underscore.
That is marketing death, okay? Fucking, if you could switch that to any type of Raes Reptiles, even with a number on it, it would be better. The underscore things are just Instagram death. But thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for coming up, and I hope to see you in September. So,
yes, we'll message each other. I will for sure be there. So
yeah, you got it. Okay, awesome. We're gonna have a big presence this year. We're gonna be going live the whole 2 days. So stop by the table too. We'll interview you again.
Oh, you're having your own table?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay, yeah.
We don't play in America, right? We roll into Canada like we're gonna take over. But by then you may be the 51st state, so we'll see. Right?
We'll see.
So, all right. I will talk to you later, and thank you again.
Okay, no problem.
All right, Rae from Rae's Reptiles, everybody. Oh, she's a cool little badass, huh? I mean, you can't be hating on her. Listen, Nassau, Saturday, Long Island. Come to the show. Say hello. Take a picture with Sammy, right? Take a picture with Paul. Take a picture with Kevin. Take a picture with Shauna. Everybody just come up and have fun. We want to make it kind of like a party where we're also raising money for the Operation Deeds Not Words campaign. We're going to have shirts for sale at the table. If we don't have your size, you could buy it online right there. Yep. Even for all you fat bastards, we got up to 6X on the shirts. And that's including the women's tank tops. So we also have kids sizes. So if you don't mind a crippled guy with a top hat, with a metal leg, with a gun on your kid's shirt, that's the place to buy it, man. Pretty cool shirt. I'll tell you one thing, your kid will be the coolest kid in school. All right. So seriously, everybody stop by fatmannation.com. Check out the support disabled vets thing. Again, this is ending on July 4th. After July 4th, shirts will no longer be available. We're actually going out to Camp Freedom on August 23rd to drop off a big old check, and they're letting us film everything. Hopefully, they're going to let us shoot some machine guns. I would love to do that. They're going to put me in a wheelchair with tank treads on it. I would love to do that. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate everybody just kind of hanging with me and all my people hanging with me and sticking with me throughout the last almost 10 years. Okay, so guys, thank you. We will see you at Nassau, and on the next main show, gonna have Donato Signor for the main guest spot, and he's gonna be talking about after 20 years, he finally sold himself a $30,000 ball python. So, all right, guys, we'll see you on Saturday at Nassau. If not, we'll see you on on the next main show. Join the Patreon, buy a shirt, do whatever you can. Support the Fat Man Nation. All we're doing is we're here trying to make you laugh. Maybe teach you something. All right. That's why we have people like Rae on. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.